Welcome to part 2, ladies and gentlemen. So we're starting hole number 10, coming from the front 9 of 1 over par. We're trying to figure out where we need to land the ball, over above those trees to the right. So this is a par 4, hole number 10, which is the first hole of Mount Lobon. A very, very wonderful course in Mount Malarayat. 1 over par in the front 9, but let's see what we can do here in our second 9. So not calling it a back 9, but a second 9. So hole number 10, with the driver, first shot. Yeah, I did hit it well. It's okay. It was okay, off balance, but left it more to the right and in deep rough. So, as you all know, deep rough, something we don't want because you always tend to hit it harder. Because you need to hit it harder and therefore overshooting the green and hitting the bunker. The bunker at the very back. And you know how poor I am in camera angles. I wasn't able to get where the pin was. So there, a very lousy bunker shot. Very, very lousy bunker shot. So now we have a very long putt for our par. And what I'm telling everyone, the camera angle was really just not that great. But to tell you the truth, I ended with a bogey on this hole. So that brings us to 2 over par overall. Moving on to hole number 11, which is a par 3. Yeah, right. But you know what? The good thing is we are putting for birdie. It might be long, but yeah, putting for birdie. Ended up finishing this hole with a par. Right, so let's move to hole number 12. We are 2 over still because of par on the last hole, a par 4. The drive went, it faded a little bit. So it looked like it was going more to the left, but it really faded. But I was left with like 200 yards to the green. So I was hitting a hybrid. And it was a bit short. Nah, fine, short. It happens. But ladies and gentlemen, I would like to pause and show you this shot. Boom! Hit the pin, in for par. So we keep ourselves in 2 over par, and we're moving to hole number 13, which is a par 5. It's a very long par 5. It's, yes, really long par 5, even from the whites. And imagine if you're hitting from the blue or the tips. Right, so drive, but it faded a bit. And I was left with another very, very long shot to the green, but a lot more than 200, I believe 250 or 260 yards to the green, maybe 270, I don't know, it's really, really far. So I had my 3-wood, wanted to hit it more to the right side, because there are bunkers in the middle, wanted to hit it more to the right side. Lucky enough that even if I pulled it a little, it just was before the very first sand trap I was talking about, right in the middle. So I was roughly around 150 yards away. Brought out my 7-iron because it was against the wind, and just tried to hit the green from here, coming from a bogey the past 3 holes. You just want to make more pars and really try to make more pars. So here we are putting for birdie. I did overshoot the green a little bit, but we're putting for birdie. And technically, we ended up finishing this hole with a good par. Yeah, it was more or less really a tap-in par. So we remain at 2 over par after this hole. And moving on to hole number 14, which is the par 4, which is a very, very, as we call it in Filipino or in Tagalog, I'll tell you the word after this drive. It was a calvario. Oh my gosh, this was a bad hole for me. I pushed my drive to the deep rough, 150, 160 yards, but look, I'm holding on to a hybrid because it was deep. I really need to hack it out. But then it was really short of the green. And then this, a very, very bad chunk. Very, very bad chunk. Where did it end up? Just over there. Just over there. So I'm now hitting 4. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm now hitting 4. Oh no. And I was just so relieved and that I made it to the green because I'm putting for birdie. I bogey, I mean. I need to lessen the damage here. But for bogey, unfortunately it was short. And in just one hole, after making a double in one hole, you now see yourself 4 over par. Hole number 15, we are in a par 4 again. Did hit a good drive, but it faded on me and left me another, say, 130, 140, maybe on the right side of the fairway in front of a big bunker. But yeah, really just trying to minimize all errors here. Made a good shot. Was actually in the left side of the green. Did a good pitch. Now I'm putting for par. Unfortunately, because the double bogey was still lingering on my head, did not make the par there. So bogey, and now we are 5 over par, going to hole number 16. Hole number 16 is another par 4. Was a bit against the wind in this hole, but yeah, tried to tee my ball a little bit lower, and it did work. I hit a bit of a driver stinger, not intentionally, but it was quite low and run did run far, and I was left with maybe around just less than 50 yards to the green. So I did it. Got my 55-degree wedge, pitched it to the green, and was able to make it. So I was minimizing errors, but not the right part of the green. There's a huge uphill, so you had to hack it there. That was a birdie putt. Coming back again, camera angles not good, but made a par. So we're still 5 over par. Hole number 17, easy birdieable hole, par three. It was really relatively short, 120, 128 yards. So I was really in my mind was just really get it to the green, try to make a birdie, try to go to 4 over par. Just this is your chance, this is your opportunity. Hit a good shot, made it to the green, but it was quite far away from the hole. So I was putting. Uh, this was like 20 paces away, putting. And again, sorry about the camera angles. You won't be able to see where the ball ends up, but it ends up beyond the hole. But it was an easy par putt. It was really short. It was almost a tap in. So yeah, there. So almost a tap in, and we got our par there. Right, hole number 18, par 5. We are still 5 over par. Another par 5. So again, chance for a birdie. Who knows, maybe a chance for eagle. This is quite a short par 5 if you really get a downhill. There's a downhill towards the fairway. But I wasn't able to catch it. I was 210, 220 yards away from the green. I was hoping to hit my 3 wood, but no, I said to myself, come on, just lay up. There's a huge, huge water hazard in front of me. Lay up. Took my 8 iron, laid up to this point, and then from here took my wedge, my pitching wedge. I think I was hitting around 100, 110 yards away from here. My pitching wedge said, just get it on the green. Try to give yourself a birdie putt. And yes, we did have a birdie putt, but again, very, very far. Um, Walked this out quite long again, so I really had to put some pace in it. And yeah, we're left with a short par putt here. Sorry, cameras. Something went wrong with my camera, but guys, thank you so much.
Yes, and there we have it, our first ever game for the year on a Sunday. So I'm not going to shower anymore here. I'll just make my way home. It's around 4 p.m. And I know I can make it home by around 5, get a shower, have dinner, and go to church at around 7. So how was the game? Yes, I did shoot a 77. It was a break 80 based on our goal. I should be very happy, but honestly, I do have a double bogey, which was very unfortunate. It was something that can be improved on. It was on a par 4. I did have a birdie, but it was followed up by another bogey. So it brought me to even par on the second hole. There was a long streak of pars. I was even par all the way, I believe, to the last, all the way to the last hole of the front nine. But then things turned down. I guess got tired, and for some reason, something on my swing changed towards the back. But hey, again, that's why you'll need to practice. That's why you'll need to improve. That's why I need to get a coach. That's why we will continue shooting videos. So, to the next one, I will see you probably next week. This video will be coming out in two parts. There will be part one, part two. So, I hope you check them out. Subscribe, share, get more followers, get more subscribers for me. Thank you so much, everyone, and bye bye.